All right, we are at the end of September to remember. It has been a super exciting month. The first thing that I want to just say really quick at the beginning of this team call is that you guys have collectively sold over $1,300 in product just today. Just today. I woke up and we were somewhere, and I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because those loyalty bundles go away today. Maybe it's because, I don't know, it's Tuesday. I don't know what happened, but you guys sold $1,300 in retail in not even 12 hours. So I just want to give you guys a little shout out. I see you. I see your work. I see your hustle. I can feel that you are all trying, and I absolutely love you for that. And your business is thanking you for that. And hopefully you're reaping those rewards, because that's amazing. And $1,300 is nothing to snub your nose at. That's a huge swing in 12 hours. So I just wanted to give you guys a little shout out for that. And on that note, I wanted to remind you that it is 8:05 and those loyalty bundles go away tonight at midnight. So if you have any customers that are on the fence, go ahead and reach out to them now, let them know that it's going away. FOMO, fear of missing out, so real. Okay. I'm sure there'll be another loyalty bundle next month. I kind of feel like I'm predicting the future, but I feel like every month there's going to be a loyalty bundle that's exclusive to the Prestige loyalty members. So I was talking to one of the girls on the team who can't really focus too much on her business right now because of personal reasons, but her focus is to get 5 Prestige members a month. Okay. Why? Because if you can get 5 people signed up every month for Prestige, then what you're creating is residual income that you don't have to work for down the line. So if her focus is just to maintain like her situation until like the crazy stuff subsides, 5 Prestige memberships gets you $125 in sales every month. Okay, so if you're just trying to qualify, get the minimums, make a little bit of money, like just do what you got to do to stay active so you don't lose your status or whatever. 5 Prestige memberships a month will keep the ship afloat so that you don't even have to really think too much about your business. So for those of you that are going through emotional and personal storms, but you don't want your business to suffer, abort all other missions and just focus on recruiting a few Prestige members. Mascara specifically is one of those things that expires every 90 days. Maybe you can get 4 months out of it, maybe 5 months if you don't use it a lot. But we all know bacteria breeds in those tubes, and it's to their benefit to just seasonally recharge. Get a new one. I like to set my customers on a seasonal thing. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. And it makes it easy for them. It makes it easy for you. So I thought that was such a great tip, and I wanted to offer that to anybody that's watching this that feels like their business isn't where they just don't have the time to dedicate the way that they would like to. For everybody else, the moguls that are on the call that are talking about, promoting and building, I wanted to have this call dedicated to leadership and what leadership is, what I think leadership is, and how we develop our skills to become better leaders for our teams. So first things first, I wanted to talk about the 6 different types of leadership style. So before you can assess what kind of leader you want to, what you're doing for your team, you need to know what kind of leader you are. Okay, so the first leadership style, number 1, is visionary. And the visionaries are the dream builders. They're the ones that can see the forest through the trees, that can have you believing in the mansion, in the Maserati. They're the ones that are the big thinkers. Okay, they're the ones that signed up for this expecting Black Status 1 in 3 months because they have that big mindset. They can see beyond that first sale. Okay, The second kind of leader is the coaching leadership style. And that's more of like development focused. That's like, okay, well, let's refine this tool and let's see what happens if we tweak this style, and let's add this spreadsheet into the mix and see what happens, and then we'll regroup next week. So the coach is somebody that's getting in on with you like one-on-one style. The next kind of leadership style is the affiliate, which is a relationship-based focus. It's about creating such strong bonds and relationships with people that they stay in the business just because they love you, and just because they want to be around you, and just because they feel relationship dedicated. Does that make sense? That style? The fourth one is the democratic leadership style, and that's where you want everybody to have a say, where you don't make choices unless the whole group agrees that that's to the benefit of the team, okay? And the next one is called pace setting. Pace setting is more of a self-management type of thing, and I want to explain it like this. If you've ever watched or if you've ever like paid attention to any kind of like race training, there's oftentimes a pace setter. And that person is out in front, right? So they have the most sales. They have the most recruits, but they're out in front. So they're not exactly with the pack. They're not making the same connections. Does that make sense? They're outside of the group. They're in front. And that's the pace setter. That's the person that expects everyone to fall in line because it's as simple as getting sales and recruiting, right? It's just so simple to them. They're just setting the pace. Do as I do, not as I say, kind of thing. And the last kind is the commanding type of leadership. It's a dictator style leadership. And many of us have experienced this one in almost all of our work, almost all of our jobs. Right? So it's the people that want to punish you for making mistakes. The people that if you screw up or you don't show up on time, they want to write you up for it. It's very, not to get political, it's very Donald Trump. It's very aggressive. It's very strong. It's very direct and harsh. Okay? So that commanding / dictatorship style of leadership is a style. Okay. And I think that style is what most of us have learned throughout our working career. And so when we come into this business, that's kind of what we know. So maybe that's what we do. Okay. So what I want to give you is a little bit of perspective on those 6 leadership styles to help you find maybe a voice that's more supportive, because if we can do that, we can build better people, right? Because this business, more than any other, has a high quit ratio. And that's what we want to prevent. We want to prevent that high quit ratio. So of the 6, we've got visionary, coaching, affiliate, democratic, pace setting, and commanding. We've got these 6 ones, right? 1 through 4 have high probability of being successful. Right? Being a visionary, you inspire people. Coaching, you get with them one-on-one. Democratic, everybody feels included. And affiliate, they love you. They want to be a part of what you're doing. So the other 2, pace setting and commanding, are not quite as successful, and this is why. Only 3% of the population can do what needs to be done without any guidance. So if your style of leadership is pace setting, where you simply say, I sell $1,000 a month, now you go sell $1,000 a month. Most people aren't going to be able to see the steps and put together a formula to make that happen without some outside guidance. That we just don't have that kind of understanding, right? Like putting together puzzle pieces with your eyes closed. That's what pace setting is going to feel like, because they don't know how to link it together with action. So only 3% of the population can do what needs to be done proactively without any kind of guidance. So pace setting is going to be a very hard leadership style in this kind of business, just because most people that sign up have never done any direct sales before. They don't know how to do it. They're going to need your help. Okay. The second, number 6, which is commanding, it's that dictatorship. The reason why I think that's not going to be successful is because that's why people are drawn to direct sales in the freaking first place. They are running hard to get away from the jerks that are above them, treating them like crap with no respect and no consideration, and they don't want that in their lives. So why would they join this company only to have another one of those? So don't do that, okay? Don't crack the whip. Don't come down hard. Don't be so absolute in your style that they don't feel valued, appreciated, respected, and important, okay? So how do you know when you are a leader? Like, when do you feel like you're a leader? And I had to think about this a lot. And I used to say that you were a leader when you got pink status, because you had one person under you and you had to teach them and coach them in order to get to pink status, right? Because if they're not qualified, you're not ranking up. But as I've been thinking about what leadership actually means, I think that leading starts immediately from the moment you sign up for this business. Why? Because you are influencing. Leadership is just the ability to influence somebody to do something different than what they were already doing. Okay, that's what leadership is. It's the ability to influence someone else to make a choice in their life. So we start that right away. It's the same characteristics to get someone to buy from you, right? You have led them to that decision. You have guided them to feeling safe and secure in their purchase. You have mentored them to understand how the products work and how to use them so that they feel confident and empowered in their makeup routine. All of those same principles from getting sales applies to recruiting. Okay, you are doing the exact same thing. You are using your influence and your leadership skills to convince them, instead of buying product, to get the kit. Now, here's where most people stop short. They think that convincing them to buy the kit is where it ends. But convincing someone to get the kit is not the same thing as convincing them to work their business. Those are two completely separate decisions in your recruit's mind. So from a leadership standpoint, all we're doing is helping the people under us get from one decision to the next. I want to be a customer. I want to buy this product. I want to get the kit. Okay, that's great. I want to work my business. Those are 3 very distinct decisions that you should be helping them make, right? By helping them understand the benefit, by guiding them to confidence and empowerment. Okay? It's so important that we also I want to hammer this in for you guys. Buying the kit is not the same thing as deciding to work the business. Most people don't know what they're getting into. Okay. And as their leader, as their mentor, as their friend, as their business partner, that's your job, is to help them understand. And true leadership comes from listening. What do you want to do with this business? How much money do you want to make doing this? What would make this worth it for your time? Right? And if you can start asking those questions, then you can allow them to explore those decisions on their own. Because if they feel like they made the decision, they're going to be all in. But if they feel like you forced them into the decision, they're going to be resistant. They're going to be hesitant. So making sure that the conversation is all catered to what their desires are and their hopes and dreams. And what that's going to allow you to do is combine the 1 through 4 leadership styles and become what I like to call a servant leader. You are serving them. And this is what is so big. No, you cannot have that. This is what it was pivotal in my business. I used to hear leaders say things like, it's all about the team and it's all about the team promoting. And while I did buy into that, I never bought into it fully, because deep down, I'm selfish and I want to promote and I want to get my next level and I want to get my next bonus, right? Because I signed up for this business and we are egotistical in nature. I want more. When I started seeing my girls thrive, when I started seeing them succeed, is when that switch flipped for me, because I immediately learned that it tasted better, that their success tasted better than my success, okay? It's sweeter to watch somebody under you grow and shine and thrive than it is for yourself. It just tastes better watching them win. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but it truly has to become about your team. And if your commitment is to helping them achieve their goals and them achieve their dreams, to me, that's what real leadership is. That's how you win. And it's not about knowing it all. It's okay to not know everything, right? Because maybe you're only a pink status presenter. So essentially, all you know how to do at this point is to maybe recruit a couple people and get enough sales to get to pink. So what? All you do is teach your team how to do that. If you taught 2 people how to get to pink, guess what you would be? Blue. And then now you learned how to get to pink, or how to get to blue. I got to blue by teaching 2 people how to get to pink. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to reach down to those 2 girls that got to pink, and I'm going to teach them how to get to blue. You teach 2 girls how to get to blue, that's $8,000. What are you going to be? Green. Okay? So each step is just your chance to go back and teach the girls under you what you learned. Okay? The more you can give them those steps, those tips, those tricks, the more successful they're going to be. But it's important that you realize that you don't have to know it all. You don't have to know how to get to black to be a good leader. I'm only green. Does that mean I'm not a good leader? Does that mean I can't serve my team? Does that mean we shouldn't be having team calls? No, it doesn't mean any of that, right? So don't wait to step into your next role in this business. Getting sales is part of it. Getting recruits is another part of it. They have to be equal, if not more, on the priority of recruiting in order to grow in a place where you're not carrying and doing the heavy lifting, right? To get those bonuses, you need a team under you. You cannot be doing the heavy lifting yourself. You can't be running $4,000 in sales by yourself every month and expect to keep your sanity and be growing your team. That's just not how it works, okay? Okay, so I have a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about, specifically about leadership. So when we understand what our leadership style is, immediately we're going to start to notice what we're weak at. So like just say, for example, if you're a visionary, right, and you're really good at seeing the forest through the trees, there may be parts of you and parts of your brain that aren't so good with like numbers and details and organization. Likewise, if you're really good at organization and really good at crunching numbers, it might be hard for you to think outside of those little boxes and that detail. So identify what your weaknesses are and then look for the girls on your team that can help fill those gaps, because you're going to draw out their strengths and you're going to make them feel included and you're going to make them feel valued, and it's going to make them feel important and part of the whole. Because what do we ultimately want in this world? We want to be a part of something. We want to be included. We want to belong. So the sooner you can empower them to like be strong at something, the better they're going to be. What I noticed is, so I've been doing the podcast for a while, well, not a while. I've posted 4, but I've interviewed 8 black and purple statuses at this point because I got a little surplus in the background. This is what I've already deduced in these 8 interviews. Every single one of these purples and blacks had some immediate success. Almost every single one of them went pink within their first 30 days. What does that say to me? That says to me, the faster I can help the people under me get to pink, the longer they're going to stay, the more committed they're going to be. The sooner it's going to reassure them that they made the right choice, that they're in the right place, that you're there to help them, and what you're telling them is working. Okay? So the sooner you can help them get to pink, the longer they're going to stay in the business. Because if they can get that quick, immediate success, it's going to help push through the lulls, like the times when things get a little less than exciting, when we go through the dry spells, when the roller coaster takes its dip, and then we're suffering a little bit, okay? So if you think about it like that, asking your new girls a lot of questions, and then having your focus be helping them get some wins as soon as possible. Maybe your win isn't to get them to pink, but maybe it's to get them to yellow. Maybe it's to help them get fast start. Whatever that is. Maybe their goal is to make $500. Use their goals and then help them get those wins right away. And the sooner you can do that, the sooner they can get their wins. From what I can tell, interviewing these black and purple statuses, every single one of them had a burst at the very beginning. Okay? It almost seals the deal. It stamps in their decision to join this company. All right. So how can we do that as a team? How can you do that as a leader? How can you help them feel confident in their choice? Getting those first couple of sales, learning how to run a party, getting their first recruit, getting that $50 Y cash from the fast start. Those are all small victories that's going to signal to their brain that they chose properly. And when they feel that way, they're going to trust you more. They're going to listen to your advice more. They're going to come to you more, right? Because don't we all want that? Because half the girls on the team don't ever reach out. They could need help, but they don't ever reach out. So they will do it more if they feel like the advice that you're giving them is valuable. Okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to say about leadership after all of that is that at some point you have to let go of their results, because their results are not a reflection of you. Their results are a reflection of them. And this is what was very hard for me at the beginning. I grieved significantly over many of my girls. And every time somebody would come in, because I'm a perpetual optimist, they would come in and I'm like, she's going to be the rock star. She's going to be the one. I'm ready. And then without fail, they would fall off, and I'd have to go through this 12-step grieving process to get over why I believed in them. Why did I give them so much of my time? And then they just failed. Not everyone is designed and cut out for this business. Not everyone is like you, right? Because you want it doesn't mean they're going to want it. Because you're good at makeup doesn't mean they're going to be good at makeup. Because you're good at recruiting doesn't mean they're going to be good at recruiting. And you cannot hang your hat on their results as a reflection of you as a leader. Okay? If you are giving them tools and giving them resources, and if you are showing up for them consistently, that's all that it takes to be a good leader. That's all it really takes, is if your heart is in the right place and you want them to succeed and you will give them anything that they need to get there. That's all it takes to be a good leader. At least that's what I feel like. I feel like I can love you guys to success. I feel like if I could just hug you all the way there. That's all it takes is a big hug, and we're going to make it happen. Maybe that's my foo-foo yoga teacher training. I don't know. But to me, people will follow people they love way more than they will follow people that will berate them for not making the right choices. Okay. So that's going to be about it for the leadership talk. Hi.
that's why I followed you for 17 years.
17 years, because you love me. Get out. Okay.
Why is Christian's phone?
Sorry. So I know we're down to 2. Everybody's falling like flies because we're tired. Do we have any questions? Are there any things that you guys want to talk about when it comes to leadership that we could discuss?
I think that I just about have Cheryl ready to do her first live.
Sometimes it's just patience.
I know. That's what I keep telling her. I said, it's up to you, sis. You do it when you get ready to, and we think we're going to do it.
Did you ever watch that show with Steve Urkel? I think it was called Family Matters.
Matters, yeah.
And he would say, I'm wearing you down. I'm wearing you down. Sometimes it's just a matter of keep planting the seeds.
Yeah.
Keep giving them like confidence, keep supporting them, keep believing in them. And eventually those old thought patterns fall away. And the new thought patterns, the what if thought patterns, the maybe I can thought patterns, the what if I tried thought patterns start to make their way into the brain.
Yeah.
And now when that clicks for Cheryl, and if Cheryl, you're watching this, I'm talking straight to you. When that clicks for Cheryl, she's going to be unstoppable.
Oh, I think so too.
That's it. When she's finally ready. And Amber can talk about that a little bit because Amber and I had a come to Jesus, what was it, a month ago about going live because she wasn't really ready to go live and she was scared of it. And now she's blowing up.
It took me, a year and a half to go live. I joined.
I thought it took me a long time. It was a month.
Yeah, it was something I really struggled with. It was bad.
And now how do you feel?
Good.
Does it feel as scary pushing the live button?
No.
And honestly, what will happen is the more you do it, you'll come to miss it. Like when I can't go live for a few days, I start to miss my friends.
Yes.
I feel like I want to hang out with my followers. Like they love me, they're supportive, they're funny. Like I start to go into withdrawal if I can't go live.
That's the way I was when I was out of commission for a while.
Yeah. And Amber, you are starting to build a little following, which is amazing to watch because it was less than a month ago that we were sitting down at that restaurant talking about just do it. Just go. What's the worst that can happen? And here you are. Growing and thriving. And sometimes it just takes patience and a couple of people believing in you. And that's your job as their leader, is to believe in them.
Yep.
The world is full of critics.
Yeah.
The world is full of critics. And to have somebody that's in your corner, right? What does unconditional love mean? I think about that all the time. What does unconditional love mean? Unconditional love means to me, if you're not getting sales, I still love you. If you're not recruiting, I still love you. Unconditional love means that if you want to work this business as a kidnapper, I still love you. If you want to work it as a hobbyist, I still love you. If you want to go green, orange, purple, black, I still love you, right? Unconditional love. Not based on someone's performance, but just based on the fact that they're somebody that's a part of your tribe.
Right.
And it takes all different kinds.
Well,
Amber, do you have any leadership questions? Because you've got your new girl on board, and she's starting to do a couple of things.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
That's because you guys are eating, and when you're eating, you're distracted, and because the brain just thinks food, bite, yum. That's okay. Holly, did you have any questions?
Holly's gone, didn't she?
Holly, you're on mute, babe.
Oh.
Hi. I just need people to lead. I think I'm born for that and I want it. And I have kidnappers who then decided I don't really even want more makeup. So they fell off.
That's okay because you also had some kidnappers that are now starting to do some things.
A little bit. I mean, and Christy does sell a little bit each month, like to people. She has a couple, like she's had people asking her like about the brown mascara, and she sold a bunch of brown mascara when that came out and stuff like that. So, and I talked with her because I see her outside of, Unique or whatever. And, and I just will casually mention it just to not pressure her. But, she's just like,
That's okay. And I was talking to Tiffany Elfenstein. I don't know if I've already told you guys this. She said that she had to recruit 140 people to find her 2 elites.
Yes, I saw your podcast with her.
When
and that
she
number
said
was
that,
like,
it was like, okay, fine. I mean, it might sound like a big mountain to climb, but at least I can see the mountain. At least I know the task at hand. If it takes me 140 people to find 2 elites, would I look back and say, is it worth it? And the answer would be yes. The answer would be yes. If I have to sign 140 people to make purple status, if that's what you're telling me I have to do to make it happen, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. At least it's a tangible thing, right? Very clear.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get in my messenger and I'm going to start doing it. So as we parlay out of that into closing out our team call, the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys, because we're talking about leadership, and just like Holly said, we need people to lead. Next week in the group, I'm hosting a Zoom recruiting blitz. And all that is a Zoom like this with everybody that wants to dedicate 1 hour of their time to recruiting. And all we're going to do is come together and we're going to spend our hour together messaging people. So when we get someone respond and say, sure, what does it include? And then you've got all of the girls that are there to help you choreograph your response so that you can start to learn how to create the right language. You will have 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 other people that can say, well, this is what I would say, and this is what I would say, and then this is what I would say. And you can glean all of those little nuggets and create your own response that might work better than anything you were creating on your own. Right? So we are going to come together as a powerhouse team. We are going to focus all of our energy and we're going to do a recruiting blitz.
I love that idea. And I wish you were doing it this month because I only need 2 more recruits to get that damn trunk.
Well, why can't you start now? Just because you don't have it doesn't mean you can't start now.
Be quiet.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Oh, gosh. Congratulations, Leslie.
Thank you. I have been working so hard for that darn thing.
Well, Leslie earned it before me because I'm still 3 kudos away. So,
Well, I was
Leslie.
yesterday, and one of my girls bought the bundle and the regular kudos.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm getting ready to do a flash sale. So for me, it's the kudos that I haven't been able to sell. I've recruited like 8 or 9 girls, so that's not a big deal. But together as a team, we're going to do it. We're going to start with a starter message. We're going to create a list, and then we're going to come together for 1 hour in the evening. And we're just going to send out our messages.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And you guys tell your teams, well, or whatever. If you don't have a team, it's fine. But if you want to grow,
Yes.
if you want to be a bigger leader, if you want to make more money, if you want to create some abundance in your life, this is where it has to begin. It has to be with growing a team. And your focus has to shift from a worker bee to a queen bee. That's what leadership is. Boom. Thank you. Please come again next Tuesday. I will see you guys. I love you so much. Bye.
Bye, y'all.